Coming up on Mountain News this morning, healthcare professionals are sharing their knowledge after a potential health scare involving law enforcement. And the stepfather of Jaden Spicer has filed a motion to lower his bond.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here on this October 20th. We're at 5:31 this morning, and it's time for meteorologist Megan Dusmal to give us a look at that forecast. And Megan, all I have to say, you've never lived life until you've had an egg sandwich with 2 honey buns as the bun.
Was it 2 or is it 1.5?
2 honey buns. There were 2 full honey buns.
Wow.
Egg and sausage if you're into that. Inside. It's great.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I had no idea it was 2 honey buns when we tried it this weekend, but it was delicious. I would recommend it to anybody if you're able to make that. But yes, let's go ahead and get to that forecast. Maybe you can start off your day with one of those honey bun breakfast sandwiches with those temperatures in a mixture of the upper 30s and low 40s. Right now, Pulaski County looking at 39 degrees. So definitely a chilly start to your day. You might need a little bit of a jacket as you're heading out and about. And as we head into the afternoon, we'll see those temperatures warming up to around where they should be this time of year. We're looking at a mixture of some mid to upper 60s. Warmer as you travel more to the southwest and cooler as you travel more to our eastern county. 62 is that forecast high in Clintwood and Logan. 59 is the forecast high in Wise. We are all clear on satellite and radar. The trend that will continue throughout all of your Monday. We're not going to see a chance of rain until Tuesday morning, but it's very slight and it will be clearing out, leaving the rest of the week nice and dry. Definitely a good forecast ahead. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. The Perry County Sheriff's Office says a man was attacked with a machete Thursday on Main Street in Vico. A bystander wrapped the victim's arm before help arrived. The victim was airlifted with serious injuries. Deputies found and arrested 6-year-old Patrick Clay Osborne. He was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail and charged with assault and menacing. A man is charged with assault after a shooting in Pike County. It happened Thursday night on Kentucky 610 in the Virgie community. Jonathan Moore claims that his brother-in-law, Anthony Huffman, shot him in the arm while they were arguing. Moore was taken to Pikeville Medical Center. Huffman was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. We do have an update to a story we brought you Friday. Hazard firefighters helped Grapevine Chavy's crews Friday afternoon with a structure fire on Kentucky 28. Officials say a car inside a garage started that blaze. The building was heavily involved when units arrived. One man was taken to Hazard ARH with burns. No other injuries were reported. Healthcare professionals are sharing their knowledge after a potential health scare in Whitley County. Amy Mabes is facing multiple charges after an incident with Whitley County Sheriff's deputies. She reportedly resisted the deputies, hitting them with their own batons. Mabes even bit the officers and later told authorities that she has AIDS and hepatitis. Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky Medical Director John Jones says there are precautions that law enforcement and healthcare professionals take when situations like this one unfold.
Everybody plays it safe, and we give PrEP to kind of prevent any kind of infection. And then usually you'll do some follow-up laboratory work for things like hepatitis B, C, and HIV. You know, you'll let some time pass and you'll check to ensure that they've not contracted the virus.
Dr. Jones says when you know the status of an active infection, healthcare providers will typically provide you with the resources to monitor your status. A hiker in Powell County was rescued by crews after taking a 10-foot fall. The Powell County Search and Rescue Team says they were called to the Red River Gorge Rough Trail just before 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. They say the hiker hurt their hip from the fall, so they had to be carried out. The hiker went to the Clark Regional Hospital for treatment, and crews were all clear by 6 that evening. A man was hit and killed by a car in Somerset. The crash happened Thursday night around 10 on South Highway 27 near the Motel 6. The man was treated on the scene and taken to the hospital where he later died. The coroner says the man was 55 years old but hasn't been able to identify him yet. His body is being sent to the state medical examiners for an autopsy. The stepfather of Jaden Spicer, Joshua Gross, has filed a motion to lower his bond. It currently sits at $1 million. Gross is facing charges of complicity to murder and evidence tampering in Jaden's death. The motion says Gross couldn't reasonably reach his current bond and says this is his first felony charge. He'll be in court for a hearing this Friday, October 24th. The University of Pikeville hosted a news conference Friday announcing a campaign to bring in more donations for the university's ongoing projects. WYMT's Buddy Forbes explains.
While students celebrated Founders Day on the University of Pikeville campus, an announcement inside the Health Professions building put the focus on the future.
A conversation about the possibility that has now become a reality.
Announcing the university's Reaching New Heights capital campaign, now that fundraising efforts for UPike's ongoing developments have reached a new milestone.
We've passed that 75% threshold and we're ready to go public and start asking more broadly for the support of the local population.
President Dr. Burton Webb says the university set a goal for a $50 million campaign. And now with more than $38 million collected through private funding, the plea for investors is going public.
The donation is designed to build a physical place, but the people that populate that physical place are the important factor with that. And you can think about somebody who goes through, graduates from the dental college, and goes on to have a practice and they're successful in the communities in which they live. That has a ripple effect throughout the entire area.
The initiative will funnel its funds into 3 different projects, supporting the development of Bear Mountain, building the new Tanner College of Dental Medicine, and creating scholarships for future bears. Projects that Webb says will not only improve the campus, but have an impact on the community.
Up on Bear Mountain, certainly there'll be college sports venues, but there will also be a lot of space that'll be used by the community.
Creating access to more opportunities for students and filling gaps with needed services.
Gifts to this project result in a large clinic right on campus that will be accepting patients from the moment it's open.
Asking community members, alumni, and anyone who can to begin reaching into their pockets to help with the mission of reaching new heights.
It's just a marvelous thing, and the impact that it can have is beyond economic. It has to do with community and people staying in the area.
In Pike County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
You can see more about the mission and how to give on our website, WYMT.com, or by contacting the UPike Office of Advancement and Alumni Relations. 5 months ago, on the night of May 16th into the morning of May 17th, people's lives were changed in Laurel County. Numerous homes and some businesses were destroyed by a tornado. Many people were left with nothing but debris where their house once stood. We spoke to the Wilson family, who lost their home and had no insurance, but the community came together to help them.
All of our friends,
yeah, we have
people that we didn't even know, has helped us beyond measure.
An amazement, because how God has perfectly placed everything that's happened here. We call this the house that God built.
The Wilsons hope to be in their home in just a few weeks, but there's still a lot of progress to do. 11 families are still in travel trailers and 3 families are living in motels. Emergency management officials say they are optimistic about the work done so far. Well, good news for JCPenney fans. The store in Coal Run near Pikeville is reopening. It was destroyed during the February flood. The first job interviews will take place Tuesday at the Coal Run Community Center. You can find a list of jobs available on the JCPenney website. Coal Run Mayor Andrew Scott says he's looking forward to more exciting announcements about the reopening of the Weddington Plaza. A young boy from Letcher County is battling something no child should ever have to go through. I met up with Carson Sexton, and I have his story of dedication, strength, and an undeniable faith in God's good works. Take a look.
5.
Carson Sexton is 4 years old. He's a typical kid with more toys than he can count, a love for all things Spider-Man, and a mom who says he's her whole world.
I look at him and I'm like, God's good. We can't have no bad days.
But on December 17th, 2024, Carson's life changed forever.
He started with headaches, real sick at his stomach, couldn't swallow hardly. We had took him to several doctors, and they had kept saying it was viral infection. And I knew it's just a mother's love, you know, when there's something wrong with your child.
Carson's mom, Rosanna, got news she never expected about her then 3-year-old son.
No mom wants to hear is your baby has cancer. It's devastating. My world crashed.
Carson was diagnosed with poorly differentiated chordoma. It's an extremely rare type of cancer that's on his skull.
It's a highly aggressive cancer and it can come back at any time.
With 10 cycles of chemotherapy and 7 surgeries under his belt, Carson is now gearing up for an 8-week radiation treatment in Florida.
You know, I thought I loved him before, but since the diagnosis, love doesn't even compare.
Holding each other every step of the way with other family members on Team Carson.
Stay strong.
Yeah.
We gotta fight, don't we, bud?
Well, Carson's not letting his diagnosis stop him from just being a kid, showing me strength beyond his years. Does he have a name? Taking as many stuffed animals as he can hold to every doctor's appointment.
He has been so strong. Anything that comes his way, he fights it full force.
Even bandaging up scrapes and giving shots to his furry pals.
I'm doing surgery. You're doing surgery.
As he prepares for his own procedures.
He knows how to do every bandage. He will act like I have a trach. He gives me a breathing treatment every night when he gets his, and he acts like he has to have his port.
Showing the world just how much of a superhero Carson truly is.
And there was a hope walk for Carson at the James Wiley Craft Memorial Park Friday evening. It's actually an event to raise funds for cancer patients while celebrating survivors. Carson's mom works at MCHC and says she's thankful for their love and support during this time. Well, Sunday marked 40 years since WYMT signed on the air, and we'll celebrate the milestone all of this week. Sunday night at 6, we did have that anniversary special looking back at our history and extended excerpts from our very first newscast. Today at 7, former WYMT Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell and former morning anchor Chas Gayhart join us on Issues and Answers for a trip down memory lane. And all week at 6 and 11, we've been digging through our archives and we'll revisit some of our most memorable news, weather, and sports stories. We hope you'll join us. It's 5:42 coming up. Ben Stiller with a new kind of lead role. That and more in today's IN Entertainment Report.
And I'll tell you how many chances for rain we have this week.
Well, I just had an amazing weekend with some of those cooler temperatures rolling through the other day. That was great for me.
But you didn't like Sunday with the hot temperatures?
No, I liked Sunday. I didn't like Saturday.
Oh, I meant Saturday.
Yeah.
Excuse me. My bad. Yeah, I kind of missed Saturday. I did think it was great. I know we have opposite views on it. However,
80 in October is not the vibes you want for spooky season. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah,
unless you're in like Alabama or something.
Yeah, when I went to Mississippi, yeah.
A hot state of Florida maybe, then you don't get it. But for where we are, I like it cold.
That's fair.
And
That's
Megan,
fair.
You've got that good news for us.
I do have the good news. We'll see those cooler temperatures continuing throughout the week, but even better, a little bit of that break from the rain. Nothing like the rain that we saw on Sunday. Definitely a lot calmer of a forecast, and that starts this morning as we just see a little bit of some clouds picking up more for our eastern counties, but for the most part, again, nice and calm. We go throughout the next couple hours. Same trend will continue throughout the day. Sunny skies taking over for most of your Monday until we head into the early hours of your Tuesday. That's when we'll see some cloud cover picking up and a very slight chance for some scattered showers. Now that'll start as we head into the earlier hours of your Tuesday around 8 o'clock when most people are heading off to school or work. And we'll continue to see that through the work and school days, getting a little bit higher chances for some showers as we head into noon and then eventually clearing off as we finish off the work day. Looking a lot calmer as we are going into the evening hours of your Tuesday and then staying dry throughout the remainder of your Tuesday. Wednesday, seeing the sunny skies returning right again into the forecast, and we'll continue to stay dry for the rest of your work week. We do have some chances for rain this weekend, but in terms of what we're going to see in the work week, here's kind of a picture of it, with most of the region seeing less of a 100th of an inch. A little bit higher chances for rain as you travel into some of our Virginia counties. For that rain, we do see Tuesday, but again, very small chances. In terms of temperatures, though, we are still looking at a range of the 30s and 40s this morning as we look towards Powell County. Definitely a nice calm start to your day. By the time we head into the afternoon, though, we do see some warmth in terms of those temperatures, mixture of the 60s and about on par for what you'd expect this time of year. Normally we're at that 67-degree mark. Instead, we'll be looking about 66 to 68 for, again, most of eastern Kentucky. It will be cooler as you travel into Virginia and West Virginia. But in terms of temperatures for the rest of the day, we'll see it warming up, hitting a high as we go into about that 4 o'clock time frame. Again, sunny skies will take over throughout the next couple of hours. And here's a look at that ARH 10-day forecast for your weekend is always in view. Again, we do have that slight chance of showers on your Tuesday, clear for the rest of the week, and then shower chances will pick back up as we're heading into the weekend. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. A new show highlights the chaos of a local DMV as actor Ben Stiller reflects on the past. Gwen Baumgardner has your Eye on Entertainment report.
A cult classic is returning to the big screen.
I am no master.
You sure look like a master to me.
The Last Dragon is celebrating 40 years as cast members reflect on its impact.
I think the legacy will be how many lives it's touched. And I have so many people come up to me, man, I did martial arts, I opened up my own karate school.
The martial arts dramedy returns to select theaters today and Wednesday. If you're looking for a little levity, head to the DMV. I mean this one.
Just give us a minute!
The new series puts humor into high gear, navigating angry customers and unapologetic coworkers.
What if you stay in your lane?
Yes.
Yes, I'm not following.
Catch DMV tonight on CBS and Paramount Plus. And Ben Stiller with a new kind of lead role.
We don't know Ben, that's why we're so messed up.
The actor with an unvarnished look at himself and his family in the new documentary Stiller and Mira, Nothing is Lost. With cameras rolling, Stiller unpacks his Hollywood upbringing as the son of two successful actors.
Those things are maybe sometimes at odds, the idea of like, well, what's the most honest movie, but then how do I also kind of protect, my feelings about my parents, not wanting to expose things about them.
Stiller and Mira, Nothing is Lost, is currently playing in select theaters. You can stream it on Apple TV this Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Gwen Baumgardner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Walruses at Tacoma's Point Defiant Zoo and Aquarium got into the spirit of Halloween as they chowed down on some seafood shaped into jack-o'-lanterns. Watch our walruses enjoy a Zoo-Boo jack-o'-lantern made of sustainable restaurant-quality seafood because enrichment should always be spooktacular. That's what the zoo wrote to X. Footage you're watching now, shared by the zoo, shows the walruses munching on the treat. Well, a recent op-ed in Time magazine is sparking debate about gossip, arguing that spreading information about others might not be as bad as you think. Brown University neuroscience professor Orly Feldman Hall writes, quote, "Gossip, for all its bad press, is not a character flaw. Rather, it's a powerful cognitive tool that allows our minds to weigh social risks like a chess master. Many moves ahead." She shares, by some accounts, 65% of our conversations are about other people.
Learning how to talk appropriately, to talk with the right people, to make sure that what you want gets communicated in the way you want, those are important things if you want to have power, if you want to rise in influence.
Feldman Hall points to how whisper campaigns help spread vital information during the Me Too movement about sexual misconduct. She calls gossip a form of social intelligence rather than a moral failing. It's now 5:52. Just ahead, we'll help you plan out your day with stories to keep an eye on. Plus, Megan will have another check of today's weather.
Gear up for Spooktacular.
Good morning. It's 5:55 and time for some of today's top national stories. A manhunt is underway for the thieves responsible for stealing priceless jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris Sunday. The thieves were described as very experienced and reportedly smashed display cases in order to steal a number of items in the morning hours before fleeing the scene on Yamaha scooters. 2 pieces of jewelry were apparently dropped or abandoned as the burglars fled the scene, including the crown of Empress Eugenie, which was found near the museum. On Sunday, President Donald Trump took to Truth Social, calling the president of Colombia an illegal drug leader and pledged to end U.S. aid to Colombia, writing that Gustavo Petro encourages the massive production of drugs in big and small fields all over Colombia. Earlier in the day, Petro criticized the president for recent U.S. strikes on alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean, including a Colombian vessel on Friday. And they're ready for their close-ups. Chicago's Brookfield Zoo released new video images of their new additions, 2 3-month-old Amur leopard cubs. The cubs, both female, are reportedly thriving and getting ready for their public debut, which keepers say will happen later this fall.
And as you're heading out the door, we are looking at those cooler temperatures, so it's important to wear that coat as you're starting off your day. We're looking at a range of the upper 30s and low 40s with nice and calm winds and mostly clear skies. We head into the afternoon, though, those temperatures will warm up into a mixture of the mid-60s. Mainly that 66 to 68 degree mark is what you can expect. Again, sunny skies will carry us throughout the day as we are not looking at cloud cover really this morning and throughout the next several hours. In terms of what you need to know as you're heading off to the bus stop this morning, again, low temperatures, and then as we head into the afternoon, warmer mid-60s and sunny skies. Stay with us. More Mountain News is on the way.
From everyone at WYMT, coming up on Mountain News this morning, Israel says it ceasefire. The Secret Service and FBI are investigating a suspicious structure near West Palm Beach Airport.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you. I'm Amelia Lee here on this October 20th. We are at 6 o'clock this morning, and it's time for a check of our weather with meteorologist Megan Dusmal. And Megan, I'm all sorts of happy about those cooler temperatures and that cold front that finally came through.
Yeah, we do have another mini cold front coming through that'll drop our temperatures even colder as we head into your Wednesday. So keep that in mind as you're going throughout today. It's just going to get cooler. Here's a look at those temperatures this morning, though. We're seeing some upper 30s and low 40s out and about. Here's a look at Johnson County this morning. Nice and calm skies. As we head throughout the next several hours, though, temperatures will warm up into a range of the mid-60s, a trend that will continue into your Tuesday. And then we're looking at clear skies. Now, one thing to note is we do have a little bit of some rain chances coming through, but that's not until Tuesday. Again, today, nice and calm. Here's a look at those next 12 hours. We'll see temperatures warming up, hitting a high around that 4 o'clock time frame. Sunny skies taking over all day long. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. A rock slide closed down the westbound lanes of the Mountain Parkway near mile marker 32 yesterday. 8 drivers were stuck behind the aftermath. First responders and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet spent hours trying to clear the scene. We're told that they were able to open that road around 10 o'clock in the morning. The Powell County Judge Executive told our sister station there were no reported injuries from that incident. Police in Monticello have arrested 2 men accused of breaking into a smoke and vape shop. Officers say it happened early Sunday morning when a burglary alarm was triggered at the store on the Kentucky 90 bypass. Security footage appears to show 2 men identified as Santana Mahler and Shane Coney breaking into the shop. Police say they found several stolen items in a bedroom closet. The pair are being held at the Wayne County Detention Center. A man that state police say drugged and killed 3 women in central Kentucky has been federally charged for 2 of those cases by a federal grand jury. We first told you about Brian Epperson in July. He's now facing 2 federal counts of distributing a controlled substance that killed 2 people. Caleb Thompson says the alleged actions by Epperson left several people heartbroken and half a dozen kids without a mother. He believes it could have been prevented.
The justice system, as you call it, failed 3 women already once, in my opinion. But a second time by letting him live? Now every agency wants to jump the gun and be on the books and be like, all right, we got him. It's too late now.
Kentucky State Police are still asking people who may have had interactions with Brian Epperson to come forward because it's possible that there are more victims. A wrongful death lawsuit has been filed 1 week after a deadly explosion at a Tennessee plant. The victim is Jeremy Moore. His daughter is named in that lawsuit. It's requesting up to $12 million in damages. The lawsuit accuses the plant's owner of being responsible for the explosion due to gross negligence. Moore is one of 16 people who have been identified. Rescue crews helped out a boater taking on water this weekend in Lake Cumberland. It happened in the Woodson Bend area when a boater hit an object and started taking on water. Rescuers brought 3 boats and divers on standby. The boat was towed to the dock by another vessel. No injuries were reported. A hiker in Powell County was rescued by crews after taking a 10-foot fall. The Powell County Search and Rescue Team says they were called to the Red River Gorge Rough Trail just before 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. They say the hiker hurt their hip from the fall, so they had to be carried out. That hiker went to the Clark Regional Hospital for treatment, and crews were all clear by 6 that evening. This morning, Israel says its ceasefires with Hamas is still on after its first serious test over the weekend. Israeli forces struck in Gaza and halted aid transfers after accusing Hamas of killing 2 soldiers. Bradley Blackburn is tracking the latest.
Today, aid trucks lined up at the Rafah border crossing into Gaza as Israel promised deliveries will resume. They were halted over the weekend after a major test of the delicate ceasefire. The Israeli military released footage of what it says are Hamas fighters moving toward Israeli troops behind an agreed-upon line. Israel hit back with airstrikes. Hamas officials said dozens of Palestinians were killed. This seaside cafe was struck, and hospitals again treated the injured. It was all children who were killed, said this man. Where is President Trump? Where are those who guaranteed this deal? Aboard Air Force One, President Trump was asked about it.
It's going to be handled properly. It's going to be handled toughly, but properly.
Is the ceasefire still in place?
Yeah, it is.
On 60 Minutes Sunday, the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Mideast envoy Steve Witkoff spoke about how the deal came together and their message to Israel moving forward.
The biggest message that we've tried to convey to the Israeli leadership now is that now that the war is over, if you want to integrate Israel with the broader Middle East, you have to find a way to help the Palestinian people thrive and do better.
How are you doing with that message?
We're just getting started.
Vice President J.D. Vance said he may travel to the region to monitor the situation this week. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Egyptian officials told the Associated Press that round-the-clock contacts were underway over the weekend to de-escalate tensions and hold the ceasefire together. Israel is also pushing Hamas to release the remains of deceased hostages who have still not been returned. Powell County is known for its beautiful scenic views, but it was also the backdrop for an announcement from U.S. Senator Rand Paul Friday. For the last 6 months, Senator Paul has been helping develop the Blossoms and Leaf Trail, an exercise approach to promoting tourism in 24 eastern Kentucky counties. He says most of those counties are east of I-75, but south of the Mountain Parkway.
And so what we've done is developed a map and a trail, and then some little concentric trails along the way to show off various parts of eastern Kentucky.
Senator Paul says the new trail may follow the Bourbon Trails model, where people can subscribe to be a part of it. But he says a private foundation is backing it to get the ball rolling and hopes private donors, businesses, and each of the counties will opt in. Saturday was National Move Over Day. It's a day that brings awareness to Kentucky's Move Over, Slow Down law. In a survey by the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, 60% of tow workers, emergency responders, and road maintenance workers have experienced a near miss while working roadside. That survey also found 15% of those workers have survived being hit by a vehicle in the past. Over the weekend, the Defense Department confirmed another deadly strike on alleged drug vessel in international waters. The Trump administration says the strikes have killed more than 30 people so far, raking up tensions between the U.S. and multiple South American countries, including Colombia. Meanwhile, a federal probe is underway over a platform built in a tree near the airport that President Donald Trump frequently uses in Florida. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more from New York.
The FBI is leading an investigation into what they call a suspicious old tree stand near West Palm Beach Airport, where President Trump flies in and out of whenever he travels to his Mar-a-Lago home. The Secret Service says it spotted the stand while preparing for the president's arrival over the weekend. The Trump administration released footage of its 7th known strike on an alleged drug trafficking boat in the Caribbean Sea last week. It comes as Colombian President Gustavo Petro has accused the U.S. of committing murder, claiming that a September strike killed fishermen. President Trump hit back, calling Petro an illegal drug dealer, while threatening to pull aid and slap Colombia with tariffs.
They are a drug manufacturing machine, Colombia, and we're not going to be part of it. So we're going to drop all money that we're giving to them.
Members of Congress have criticized the strikes.
I do worry about the legal authorities, or lack thereof.
All of these people have been blown up without us knowing their name, without any evidence of a crime.
Meanwhile, as pressure builds to end the Russia-Ukraine war, President Trump Sunday repeated his plea that both sides cease fighting and claim victory.
They should stop right now at the battle lines. Go home, stop killing people, and be done.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky expressed skepticism that Russian leader Vladimir Putin is serious about peace negotiations.
This war is not about the land and not about territories for him. It's about our sovereignty.
President Trump is preparing for another summit with Putin soon in Budapest. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Today, the federal government shutdown stretches into day 20. A source familiar tells CBS News that Senate Republicans have been invited to the White House for lunch on Tuesday. Senate GOP members are considering votes this week on bills that would allow certain federal employees, like active duty military, to be paid as the stalemate stretches on. The Department of Agriculture says more than 90,000 pounds of MCI Foods prepackaged frozen breakfast burritos have been recalled because they contain eggs that could be tainted with listeria. A post by the department says some of the products may have been shipped to schools as part of the National School Lunch and Breakfast Program. The FDA says no illnesses have been reported so far.
We are watching just a little bit of some fog cover this morning. For some folks, we're looking at dense fog, especially as you're traveling more towards our southern counties. However, out and about in the rest of the region, you could still encounter some of those dense patchy fog sections as you're driving on the roadways. Now, we are nice and clear in terms of rain chances, though, so that's nothing to worry about as we're looking at a good start to your day, and we'll stay sunny throughout the next several hours. Temperatures this morning, though, are on the chillier side. Upper 30s and low 40s are what you can expect, so you definitely need to grab a jacket as you head out the door. Now, in terms of temperatures this afternoon, it will be significantly warmer as we sit in a mixture of the 60s. Mid to upper 60s is that range for most of the region. However, we do see some low 60s as you travel more towards the east. 62 as that high in Clintwood and in Logan. We'll see the warmest temperatures of the day around that 4 o'clock time frame, and sunrise will be at 7:47 this morning. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you so much for getting your day started with us on Mountain News this morning at 6:11. On Saturday, healthcare workers, survivors, and even state leaders stress the importance of early detection through a breast cancer awareness walk.
Gear up for spectacular savings at Don Franklin during the Monster event in Corbin.
Adobe Acrobat Studio is all new. What can PDF Spaces with AI do? Do your marketing needs in one spot. An AI assistant? Show me what you got. AI breakdowns on trend reports. Unlock key insights on the rise of shorts. Do quick summaries, show me what to read. AI, give me just the numbers, please. Do a recap of all your learning. Add an AI graphic of potential earnings. Ideate, generate, do it all in one. Do that, doing that, did that, done. Now you can do that with Acrobat. Now you can do that with the all-new Acrobat.
Well, we've had a lot of that summer-like weather, it felt like, but finally, it's feeling like fall. We can go to a pumpkin patch and not be sweating.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
We do have some chances for 70s returning this time next week, though.
Well,
not to bring that back into the picture, but for the most part, yeah, I would still consider it pretty fall-like. For me, a little chilly, but not too bad.
There you go.
Here's a look at that forecast as you're going into the day. Right now in Hazard, we're looking at that 41-degree mark. The rest of eastern Kentucky following suit in some upper 30s and low 40s. Now, right behind me is that Hazard camera, but as you can see, or I guess as you can't see, it is a little bit of that foggy start to your day, and that's what some folks are dealing with as you're heading out the door and starting off your work week. Now, as we head into the afternoon, we will see some of those temperatures warming up, getting into the mid to upper 60s for the Cumberland Valley and for the Kentucky River Valley. But it is a tad cooler for the Big Sandy Valley, as most of the region will be sitting in those mid 60s, with the exception of some low 60s. 62 is that high in Logan and Clintwood, 64 for Wayne and for Grundy. Sunny skies, though, will take over that forecast. There is the great news there. Even cooler news, though, as we're heading into the overnight hours. You have a chance of seeing a celestial event, the Orionids meteor shower, which will be around the Orion constellation. Now, the best time to see that will be from midnight to 2 o'clock, when that's the darkest time of the night, and even better if you can get away from some of that light pollution. If you go closer to the center of town, it's going to be a little bit harder to see it. Farther away you get, though, the better chances that you have to see up to 20 meteors visible per hour. So there's the cool news there. And the great news on top of that is that it's going to stay clear tonight. So you don't have to worry about any clouds bogging down your view of the celestial event. Now, as we head into the next several hours, though, still going to stay nice and dry. This little chance for some clouds will be moving close to that 3 o'clock time frame. So again, from 12 to 2, still clear to see the meteor shower, and then it'll move into the area, giving us some chances for some rain. But for the most part, these rain chances will be minimal. They will pick up as we're heading into the middle of the day. Around 11 o'clock to 1 p.m. is when you see the highest chances of some shower activity clearing out as we head around that 4 o'clock time frame, when most folks are getting off of work or school. And then we're looking nice and dry for the rest of your Tuesday, and going into your Wednesday, we'll continue with those clear skies. Now, in terms of the rest of today's, though, as I mentioned, we'll be nice and clear all day long. Sunny skies, wall-to-wall sunshine, high temperatures around that 4 o'clock time frame. Here's a look at that ARH 10-day forecast for your weekend is always in view. And again, we have that slight chance of showers tomorrow, but for the rest of your week, we're going to stay nice and dry before rain chances come back into the forecast this weekend. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan. During this Breast Cancer Awareness Month and beyond, those with Baptist Health Lexington are trying to stress the importance of early detection and offer resources to those battling. On Saturday, healthcare workers, survivors, and even state leaders did just that through a breast cancer awareness walk. WYMT's Neely Green joins us live in studio with more information.
The National Breast Cancer Organization says 1 in 8 women in the U.S. will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. Alyssa Williams was there at the event to learn more.
For many, a breast cancer diagnosis can feel isolating.
As I said, very soon after my diagnosis, I've joined a club that no one wants to be in, but some of the most wonderful people I know are in it.
That's why dozens of survivors laced up their shoes Saturday to support those walking the path they once did.
I actually think without the community and without support, these challenges would be so much more difficult.
This marks Baptist Health Lexington's second breast cancer awareness walk. Dr. Waleed Abu-Jaldi, also known as Dr. AJ, says the walk also serves as a hub of information, offering resources to cancer survivors, current patients, and those who are looking to prevent it.
I just look around and I see what everybody else is doing, the partners putting all the tables out there just to show them what kind of services we can provide in the community. And then all the different specialties. It takes a village to treat a breast cancer patient.
Survivors like Shamia Booker were there to share how important these conversations about breast cancer are.
My sister was actually diagnosed 2 months after me, so not only is it important to do your routine checkups, but also genetic testing as well.
Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman was also there and opened up about her own connection to breast cancer.
I have a lot of folks that I really care about that have been through this. I had a scare myself a couple years ago, and all of the informational booths here today are a piece of the puzzle of this journey that some of these women have gone on or will go on. And so the more they know and the sooner they know it, the better off that they're going to be.
In Lexington, Alyssa Williams, WKYT.
After the walk, breast cancer experts and survivors took part in a discussion panel to facilitate an open conversation surrounding breast cancer.
And we know that breast cancer is more common in women, but it's not just limited to women, correct?
Yeah, Amelia, although breast cancer is typically found in women more, as I mentioned earlier, it's found in about 1 in 8 women. Men are also at risk for the cancer, with significantly less risk, with about 1 in 726, which is a lot less, but still a chance.
Gotcha. And what are some things both women and men should look for during self-examinations?
Yeah, the most common symptom of breast cancer is a new lump or mass, but it is important to remember that not all lumps are cancer. However, a painless, hard mass that's found with irregular edges can also more likely be cancer, but breast cancers can also be soft, round, tender, and even painful.
All right, thank you so much, Neely, for these tips. It's now 6:21, just ahead on Mountain News this morning. Some walruses at a zoo got into the spirit of Halloween. Look at them now. We've got those details up next.
A bad experience with a heating and cooling company can lead.
We're still staying nice and clear this morning, and we'll keep from clear skies and continue to see sunny skies as we're heading into the next several hours when that sun does eventually rise around 7:40 this morning. Now, in terms of what we'll see this afternoon, though, temperatures will be warming up into a mixture of the mid-60s, mid to upper 60s is that range for most of eastern Kentucky. A little bit cooler for our Virginia and West Virginia counties today, though. Now, in terms of the next couple days, we'll continue with similar temperatures tomorrow, and then we'll see another cold front come through, giving us that slight chance of rain that we'll see tomorrow, but also giving us cooler temperatures on your Wednesday. Upper 50s and low 60s will be the widespread temperatures that we can expect for Wednesday afternoon. Now, in terms of today, we are sitting in the low 40s with temperatures hitting 64 by the time you're getting home from work or school. Don't forget, tomorrow night's Mega Millions jackpot is $650 million, and tonight's Powerball jackpot is $304 million.
Thanks, Megan. Walruses at Tacoma's Point Defiant Zoo and Aquarium got into the spirit of Halloween as they chowed down on seafood shaped into jack-o'-lanterns. Watch our walruses enjoy Zubu jack-o'-lanterns made of sustainable restaurant quality seafood, because enrichment should always be spooktacular. That's what the zoo wrote on X. Footage shared by the zoo shows the walruses munching on the treat. They're there right now, just having a good little time. Thousands of people flooded the streets of Santiago on Sunday for Zombie Walk 2025, the iconic parade of the living dead that's become a staple of the city's cultural calendar. From Plaza Italia to Embargo Park, zombies, vampires, and all manner of fantastical creatures filled the in Alabama in a central celebration that fused art, music, and cosplay. And horror sequel Black Phone 2 screamed to the top of the weekend box office in North America, pulling in more than $26 million. John Aries slipped to second with more than $11 million, and comedy Good Fortune debuted third with more than $6 million. Well, the time is now 6:26, and we've got more mountain news on the way.
Travel forecast sponsored by Big Sandy.
Coming up on Mountain News this morning, on the night of May 16th, people's lives were forever changed, and we talked to one family about that tornado. And the University of Pikeville announced a new fundraising initiative, hoping to get folks to donate to help toward a new mission.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Monday, October 20th. It's 6:31 this morning. Time for a check of our weather with Megan Dusmall. And Megan, we've got some of those chilly temperatures, so good day to, I don't know, put some sweatpants on, maybe a hoodie, just bundle up this morning.
Yeah, definitely a good day to bundle up as you're starting off this Monday morning. Now, temperatures will be warming up, but as you're starting off your day, yes, upper 30s, low 40s. That's what we're seeing out and about. In fact, here's a look at London Corbin Airport. 37 degrees is the current temperature in London this morning. Again, we're looking at clear skies, and that will continue throughout the day. Sunny skies as we transition after sunrise, and temperatures not looking too bad. A little chilly for me, at least, in the mid to upper 60s, but not too bad at all. And as we go into satellite and radar, just as I mentioned, clear skies this morning, which will continue throughout the day. Here's a look at that 12-hour forecast, which you'll notice wall-to-wall sunshine. Temperatures hitting a high around that 4 o'clock time frame. Amelia.
In Laurel County, the sheriff's office is asking for your help in identifying 2 suspects involved in a robbery. Take a look at your screen now. They say it happened 8 miles south of London just after 4 yesterday morning at the Robinson Market. They say if you can identify these suspects, you're asked to contact the Laurel County Sheriff's Office. That number on your screen now. The Perry County Sheriff's Office says a man was attacked with a machete Thursday on Main Street in Vico. A bystander wrapped the victim's arm before help arrived. The victim was airlifted with serious injuries. Deputies found and arrested 60-year-old Patrick Clay Osborne. He was taken to the Kentucky River Regional Jail charged with assault and menacing. A man is charged with assault after a shooting in Pike County. It happened Thursday night on Kentucky 610 in the Virgie community. Jonathan Moore claims that his brother-in-law, Anthony Huffman, shot him in the arm while they were arguing. Moore was taken to the Pikeville Medical Center. Huffman was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. A woman in Whitley County faces several charges after reportedly biting sheriff's deputies, possibly putting their health at risk. WYMT's Neely Green spoke to healthcare providers about protocols that officials take to stay safe.
A woman in Williamsburg is facing charges after reportedly biting 2 sheriff's deputies and breaking one deputy's nose with his own baton Monday night.
As far as law enforcement and healthcare, you know, they all get trained in universal precautions. So a lot of times you'll see, right, officers are using gloves, goggles, whatever it is they need.
The woman arrested is Amy Mabes, and she also told authorities she has AIDS and hepatitis, possibly putting the deputies involved at risk for exposure.
Exposure, like maybe an example of saliva, you know, that's extremely low risk if it's just an exposure to saliva. Usually you have to have a skin break, and then they also it has to be a blood-to-blood exposure.
Dr. John Jones is the medical director for primary care centers of Eastern Kentucky, and he says in cases where folks might be exposed to a disease, you should first clean the area.
You know, if there is an exposure, a blood-to-blood or a wound like a bite, that's something that, of course, you would go and you would wash with soap and water. That would be the first thing you would do.
Jones says healthcare providers will typically provide you with the resources to monitor your status.
A lot of times healthcare providers will give you some medication, we call it PrEP, and it's a preventative to ensure you don't contract a virus like HIV.
If necessary, providers will conduct tests to make sure a person has not contracted something. In Perry County, Neely Green, WYMT Mountain News.
Jones says if it is needed, healthcare providers may choose to do some follow-up laboratory work to check blood results. We do have an update for you to a story we brought you Friday. Hazard firefighters helped Grapevine Chavy's crews Friday afternoon with a structure fire on Kentucky 28. Officials say a car inside a garage started the blaze. The building was heavily involved when units arrived. One man was taken to Hazard ARH with burns, but no other injuries were reported. A man was hit and killed by a car in Somerset. That crash happened Tuesday night around 10 on South Highway 27 near the Motel 6. The man was treated on the scene and taken to the hospital where he died. The coroner says the man was 55 years old but hasn't been able to identify him yet. His body is being sent to the state medical examiner for an autopsy. The stepfather of Jaden Spicer, Joshua Gross, has filed a motion to lower his bond. It currently sits at $1 million. Gross is facing charges of complicity to murder and evidence tampering in Jaden's death. The motion says Gross couldn't reasonably reach his current bond and says this is his first felony charge. He'll be in court for a hearing this Friday. That's October 24th. As time passes, more people are making headway in the rebuilding process in southern Kentucky. That's where numerous homes and some businesses were destroyed on the night of May 16th by a powerful and deadly tornado. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to a family who is extremely thankful for the tremendous amount of help they've received.
5 months in a camper.
It's been a long time of questions and uncertainty for the Wilsons.
And we drove the first stake in the ground
August 11th.
August the 11th.
The May tornado destroyed everything, leaving only the concrete front porch.
And we were going to do some work on the house, and we had no insurance at that time.
But help began arriving in often miraculous ways.
All of our friends,
we have
people that we didn't even know, has helped us beyond measure.
Much of it came from Mennonites. One time there were 15 on the roof hammering away.
There was not one person out of them that was talking. Every one of them either had something in their hand or they was doing something.
There is still a lot of progress, but a lot of work left to do. There are still 11 families living in the travel trailers at the Levi Jackson Park. There are 3 families living in a motel. Emergency officials say they're optimistic, but they say there is still some work yet to do. The Wilsons hope to be in their new home in a couple of weeks, but they know many of their neighbors are still hurting.
This has been such a tragedy, and we've lost so many good friends, and people have lost their homes, and as you can hear, still people trying to get built back.
Hoping their story becomes encouragement to others.
An amazement, because how God has perfectly placed everything that's happened here. We call this the house that God built.
Their previous house lasted almost 50 years. They're looking forward to the home that this is about to become. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The Wilsons say the individual Mennonites that helped them did not want to be shown or identified for the work that they did. Some good news for JCPenney fans. The store in Coal Run near Pikeville is reopening. It was destroyed during the February flood. The first job interviews will take place Tuesday at the Coal Run Community Center. You can find a list of jobs available on the JCPenney website. Coal Run Mayor Andrew Scott says he's looking forward to more exciting announcements about the reopening of the Weddington Plaza. The University of Pikeville announced a new fundraising initiative Friday, hoping to get folks to reach into their pockets to help toward a mission of reaching new heights. The university made public its plans for a capital campaign, inviting alumni, community members, and those invested in the education of the region to donate to the cause. The funds raised through the initiative will be added to the more than $38 million the school has obtained in private funding in an effort to reach a $50 million goal to support the Tanner College of Dental Medicine, the Bear Mountain Development, and student scholarship opportunities.
We are so excited as a family to see this happen, and then B, be able to project into the future the impact that this can have both for the citizens in Appalachia and for the graduates of the school.
You can see more information and how to donate on our website, WYMT.com. A 4-year-old boy in Letcher County was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. Carson Sexton has poorly differentiated chordoma. It's an extremely rare type of cancer that's on his skull. He was diagnosed about a year ago. Since then, he's gone through 10 cycles of chemotherapy and 7 surgeries. His mom, Rosanna Sexton, says they're about to head to Florida for an 8-week radiation treatment.
I remember when he was on life support for 9 days, I just laid and cried at his bedside, begging God to let my baby come back. He has adapted really good. Really, really good being away from home, but he's never left alone. Like, I'm always there by his side.
Friday evening, there was a hope walk for Carson at the James Wiley Craft Memorial Park in Letcher County. It was an event to raise funds for cancer patients while celebrating other survivors. The Mountain Girls were back in Pikeville this past weekend. The Mountain Girl Experience was underway in downtown Pikeville with a festival all about women, culture, and giving back. The free event kicked off Friday with music hitting the stage on Division Street, and organizers say the event included discussions, activities, and programs all about Appalachian work and the power of women.
The Mountain Girl Experience is important for us here. We love to give young women a voice. We love to give them a stage to perform on, and it's just really important for us that we show Appalachian women in a positive light. We didn't want just to have a big time, we wanted to have a purpose too, so we're always raising awareness for domestic violence and those situations.
The event helped raise money for the Pike County Domestic Violence Coalition.
We're looking at a little bit of fog this morning. Now, all across eastern Kentucky, you could run into these dense patches of fog. However, the densest fog throughout the region will be as you're traveling more towards our southern counties. Harlan and Middlesboro both having a little bit of some low visibility this morning, so just keep that in mind as you're starting off your day. Temperatures as well will be on the chillier side, so you will need a coat as you're beginning the work week. Upper 30s and low 40s, and by the time we head into the afternoon, we will be seeing a mixture of the mid to upper 60s with some sunny skies. There's good news there as that sun does rise in a couple of minutes around that 7:40 time frame. Now, in terms of what you need to know as you're heading off to school, again, we'll be seeing the low 40s with mostly clear skies. By the time you're heading home, we're looking at sunny skies, temperatures in the mid 60s. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:41. Understanding orcas. We have a fascinating new study to share about killer whales and their kind gestures. That's coming up.
Travel forecast sponsored by Big.
If you're not into belts, today's a good day for some suspenders. We can't even see them.
Can you say it?
There you
go.
are. There's the suspenders right there. Front and stage for us this morning. It's National Suspender Day.
I actually have never worn suspenders.
I
wanted to.
Oh.
Well, yeah, I had a Halloween costume one year. I was
a nerd.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I was actually. And
It's
I couldn't find
classic,
suspenders.
The nerd classic Halloween costume, a bow tie, probably with mustaches on it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Bring out the 2014 aesthetic,
a
mustaches
fedora.
everywhere. Yeah, perfect. Honestly, that could be a good Halloween costume for me this year.
If you
it
wanna
could
be
be
a
easy
nerd.
to find all the ingredients for that.
There you go. Well, crack out your suspenders. It's a good day to stay inside and wear them, I guess.
Yeah, and wear them. She said stay inside, don't wear them outdoors.
We don't want to see. No, I'm kidding. I love
suspenders. Yes, but yes, bring out those suspenders for your Monday. Here's what you need to know. We are looking at some clear skies beginning off the day, and we will see the clear skies remain all day long. There's the great news about the start to your week. However, we do see some clouds entering into that forecast as we're heading into tomorrow morning. That's going to be a little bit of a change from the rest of the week, though, so keep in mind that most days this week will not look like Tuesday. We have cloud cover increasing. We have a slight chance for some showers pushing through, those scattered showers, with the highest chances of seeing some of that rain activity for more of our northeastern counties and around the midday mark, that 11 to about 1 p.m., clearing out as we head into the afternoon. So for most folks, by the time you're leaving work or school, it'll be nice and clear skies all the way. And then we'll continue into your Wednesday, mostly sunny skies is that forecast. But all in all, a great week is setting up, especially compared to last week. Temperatures are a lot more close to average for this time of year. In terms of the amount of rain that we're expecting for most of eastern Kentucky, we're just looking at less than 1/100 of an inch. So even though we do have that rain chance in the forecast, the amount of rain that we will be picking up will be on the more minimal side. Now, in terms of temperatures, though, again, it is a little bit of a chillier start to your day in a mixture of the upper 30s and low 40s. Right now, 41 degrees in Breathitt County, just a couple miles southeast of Jackson. Now again, it's still a chilly day for most of eastern Kentucky, but as we head through the next several hours, we will see those temperatures warming up into the 60s. Normally this time of year, we're at that 67-degree mark. However, we'll be looking at about 66 to 68 as the temperature range today. Some folks a little bit warmer than others, some folks a little bit cooler than others. Here's a look at that out the door forecast for today. We'll be seeing temperatures hit a high in this afternoon around 4 p.m. Sunny skies all day long. And here's a look at that ARH 10-day forecast. Your weekend is always in view. We'll once again continue to see those temperatures in the 60s tomorrow, but following those rain chances on Tuesday comes some slightly cooler temperatures on Wednesday, upper 50s, low 60s. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. Despite their intimidating name, killer whales are making waves with their recent acts of kindness. A new study explores how orcas are forming unique human connections. Gwen Baumgartner reports from Edmonds, Washington.
From beneath the shimmering surface, the ocean's apex predator.
There's no real cost for them to come in and check us out. And so they don't hesitate to if they want to.
Researcher Jared Towers recently led a study exploring a series of polite yet puzzling interactions, orcas attempting to share their food with humans. Here you can see one attempt to offer its meal, the orca then taking it back when left untouched.
There are some cases where the killer whales have been very insistent. And after dropping the item in front of people, if people didn't respond, they would pick it up again and offer it to them again.
Just another example of whales keeping people on their toes. Tower says examples of this, orcas attacking boats, are them being curious and playful.
They're fun to watch, they look really cool, and they're just really fascinating animals.
Bart Rulon has been photographing and studying orcas for decades. He believes the more we know about killer whales, the more we can do to protect them.
I think they're probably similarly curious to us as we are to them.
Researchers agree, concluding that offering prey could be an orca's way to learn about, manipulate, or develop relationships with us.
I think because killer whales are very aware and conscious of what's going on in their environment, and I think they have a desire to understand it.
Continuing to share food with those who share their waters. Gwen Baumgartner, CBS News, Edmonds, Washington.
While it's still rare to see an orca offer food to humans, they often share within their pods. Just like us, they bring food to social gatherings. A recent op-ed in Time magazine is sparking debate about gossip, arguing that spreading information about others might not be as bad as you think. Brown University neuroscience professor Orieli Feldman Hall writes, quote, "Gossip, for all its bad press, is not a character flaw. Rather, it's a powerful cognitive tool that allows our minds to weigh social risks like a chess master many moves ahead." She shares, by some accounts, 65% of our conversations are about other people. Well, Sunday marked 40 years since WYMT signed on the air, and we'll celebrate that milestone all week long. Sunday night at 6, we did have that anniversary special, looking back at our history and extended excerpts from our very first newscast. Today at 7, former WYMT Chief Meteorologist Jim Caldwell and former morning anchor Chas Gayhart join us on Issues and Answers for a trip down memory lane. And all week at 6 and 11, we've been digging through our archives, and we'll revisit some of our most memorable news, weather, and sports stories. We hope you'll join us. Time is now 6:51. Here's a look at what you'll be seeing on CBS Mornings at 7.
I'm Tony DeCopel. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Senator Bernie Sanders will be here to talk about his new book and the government shutdown. Plus, Beg News America David has a story about second chances and the power of forgiveness. That is coming up on CBS Mornings.
I'm Billy Johnson, and I've spent my career...
Time to get you up to date before you head out the door. A rock slide closed down the westbound lanes of the Mountain Parkway near mile marker 32 yesterday. 8 drivers were stuck behind the aftermath. First responders and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet spent hours trying to clear the scene. We're told they were able to reopen the road around 10 o'clock. The Powell County Judge Executive told our sister station there were no reported injuries from the incident. And police in Monticello have arrested 2 men accused of breaking into a smoke and vape shop. Officers say it happened early Sunday morning when a burglary alarm was triggered at the store on the Kentucky 90 bypass. Security footage appears to show 2 men identified as Santana Mahler and Shane Coney breaking into the shop. Police say they found several stolen items in a bedroom closet. The pair are being held at the Wayne County Detention Center. It's now time for a final look at your weather this morning with Megan Dusmal. Megan, run us through what's going on for this week.
Thanks, Amelia. We're looking at nice and clear skies this morning, and as we're going throughout the day, that's going to be the trend. Sunny skies will take over when the sun does eventually rise. Temperatures to begin your day will be on the chillier side, though, a mixture of those 30s and 40s. In fact, we're looking at 34 degrees as we're traveling towards Boonville, 37 in Wise, again 34 degrees in Jonesville. So it's definitely on the colder side. Make sure you have your jacket to start off your day. This afternoon, though, you may or may not need that jacket. Maybe a sweater would be better, as sweater weather is back. Looking at a mixture of the 60s. Some folks a little bit warmer than others in the upper 60s as we travel closer to Monticello. And in terms of what we're expecting over the next couple of hours, temperatures will hit a high around that 4 o'clock mark, again staying nice and dry all day long alongside those sunny skies. Here's a look at that ARH 10-day forecast where your weekend is always in view. And just take a look at all those 60s from now until Sunday. A little bit of some rain chances this weekend. And then some dreaded 70s do come back, at least dreaded for Amelia.
Well,
happy
it's
for
low
me.
70s.
No, it's, look, on Monday,
says
Tuesday,
70.
it's a 70. Yeah, 70 on the dot. So
Yeah,
it's still 70s.
so low 70s.
So you're fine with that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I just don't want it to feel like 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not getting to 80. That's
60,
way out
like,
the forecast, hopefully.
Low 60s, high 60s, low 70s, that's all fall.
Okay.
It's more like 78, 79, 80.
You heard it here, folks. Now
What
we
I'm
know
a
the
fan
range.
of.
We know the range. 70 is
I
good.
feel like usually that's what I'm picking on is when it's 80 or 79 or feels like 80.
Yeah. See, I like the 80, though. That's nice for me.
It's fine during the summer. Well, your local news and weather continue at 7:26. Don't forget, you can always find news and weather updates all day long on our website, WYMT.com.
Have a great week.